This is video podcast 25 from learningradiology.com, video flashcards, most commons in GI imaging. Hello, I'm William Herring from Albert Einstein Medical Center in Philadelphia. This podcast can be listened to as audio only, viewed as video only, or a combination of both. The way it works is that the first side of the card is the question, like what kind of pie is filled with cherries. You can pause your computer or MP3 player. The second side contains the answer, a cherry pie. What is the most common type of benign esophageal tumor? A leiomyoma. What is the most common esophageal diverticulum? A Zenker's diverticulum. What is the most common cause of a small bowel obstruction? Adhesions. What is the most common malignant tumor of the esophagus in the United States? Adenocarcinoma, squamous cell carcinoma worldwide. What is the most common cause of large bowel obstructions? Carcinoma of the colon. What is the most common type of gastric polyp? Hyperplastic or regenerative polyps. What is the most common source of metastatic tumor to the esophagus? Lung cancer. What are the most common sources of metastatic lesions to the stomach? Melanoma and breast cancer. What is the most common malignant tumor of the stomach? Adenocarcinoma. What is the most common cause of free air? Perforated duodenal ulcer. What is the most common tumor of the small intestine? Carcinoid tumors. What is the most common benign tumor of the small intestine? Adenomas. What is the most common site of any type of small bowel tumor? The ileum. What is the most common type of intussusception? An ileocecal intussusception. What is the most common congenital anomaly of the esophagus? Esophageal atresia. What is the most common type of esophageal atresia? Proximal esophageal atresia with distal tracheal fistula. What is the most common malignant tumor of the small intestine? Adenocarcinoma. What is the most common tumor of the large bowel? Adenomas. What is the most common malignant tumor of the large bowel? Adenocarcinoma. What is the most common cause of an esophageal stricture? Gastro-esophageal reflux. What is the most common cause of esophageal perforation? Medical instrumentation, such as the insertion of an NG tube or esophagoscopy. What is the most common site of spontaneous esophageal perforation? The distal esophagus along the left posterolateral wall. What is the most common location of gastrointestinal TB? The cecum or ileum. What is the most common site involved by gastrointestinal extranodal lymphoma? The stomach. What is the most common site for metastases from melanoma to the bowel? The small bowel. What is the most common source of bleeding in the small bowel? Angiodysplasias, AVMs. What is the most common GI site of carcinoid tumors? The ileum. What is the most common location of GISTs, gastrointestinal stromal tumors? The stomach. What is the most common location of small bowel lipomas? The ileum. What is the most common location of a small bowel diverticulum? A duodenal diverticulum.